Hey friends, how's it going? Ash here, welcome back to Extra Gents Scents. Yes, I shrunk. I'm better. I hope you guys are doing well. It is the evening as of when I'm shooting this right now. It's a little bit frigid outside, a little bit chilly. So I figured let's talk about some fragrances that are good during this kind of weather. This weather that I find myself in if I were outside. Thankfully I'm not. Just gonna keep it pretty casual, just kind of run right through 5 different fragrances that I think would work really well. Kind of a little bit of a different vibe with each one of them. And I'll have them linked down in the description as always if you want to check them out down there. And also here's some codes if you would like to use some codes. GS25 is the newest one at Fragflex, so check that one out. All right, let's kick it off. Let's get it started with the Woods Collection, Royal Night. Now, I've talked about the Woods Collection Dusk a bunch because it's really good. Dusk is basically a clone of Parfum de Marly Layton, but an extremely well done one. Unfortunately, sometimes hard to find at a discounter, and you do want to pick these up from discounters because this one retails for, I think, 160, and at discounters, usually it's gonna be about 60. So just one of those deals where it saves you legitimately $100 for the same thing. Yeah, this one is a lot easier to find than Dusk. Joma Shop pretty much always has it. I think Fragrance Buy has it pretty often as well. And this one, like Dusk, is also pretty much a clone. Yeah, this is pretty much an inspired by fragrance of Louis Vuitton's Ombre Nomad. So that lets you know how it smells. It's oud forward, has rose in there, just like Ombre Nomad. Maybe not quite the overall body of Ombre Nomad. You know, it's not quite as dense as that one. And when I say that, I don't mean it to sound like Ombre Nomad is, you know, like, oh, it's heavy and this is light and nice. I don't mean it like that. I mean that Ombre Nomad comes across like it's got a little more oomph to it, you know. This one does have great bang for buck though, $60. It smells really close to Ombre Nomad for that price point and is quite possibly the best overall bang for buck as far as quality and scent profile goes Ombre Nomad clone that you can get. Now I can't say that with absolute certainty because I'd have to put it up against all the other ones that I have, and I do have quite a lot, but off the top of my head I can think of none that are really quite this nice for about 60 bucks. I do have a Scorpion Intense, which is also really good, but that one is a 50 ml size bottle, and I think it goes for like 180 for 50 mils, so at that point, just get the Louis Vuitton, honestly. But if you wanna save some money, you wanna get something like Ombre Nomad, you can get this. It's really well done, and also magnetic cap, so you get like an extra point for that. Got a YSL up next. It is L'Homme Eau de Parfum. So this one is not gonna be thought of as much of like a straight up wintertime scent as this one over here. And that's because this one, L'Homme Eau de Parfum, has a lot of that L'Homme Eau de Toilette DNA to it. It has a nice freshness off the top, but then it also has underlying sweetness to it from cognac. So you got this like boozy kind of warmth in there also, especially comes out as it starts to dry down. It still maintains a bit of freshness, kind of a clean vibe also from lavender as it heads through the mid, and then you get a lot of woods that come out in the base. So this one is gonna be more so for somebody looking for something that has more of a hyper versatile complement factor kind of vibe that they're going for. It's one of those just jack of all trades, easy wearing kind of grab and go type of scent. And it works really well in the cold. And honestly, it works pretty well year round. It's not just a wintertime scent. It's just, it would work right now also. After that, Mustache from Rocus, Mustache Eau de Parfum. Gotta specify because Mustache Eau de Toilette smells absolutely nothing like this. This one smells similar to YSL's Tuxedo, only this is way cheaper, which as I talked about with this one can be a real benefit when you don't have to pay quite as much money. Presentation on this is good, nice and heavy, looks classy, looks nice. Fragrance itself smells awesome. It was a hype monster, I'm sure pretty much all of you know, but it was a hype monster for quite a while. Just everybody wanted it, everybody had to have it, and it was like impossible to find for about a year, I think. Every time it came in stock, like sold out, but nowadays, a lot easier to pick up. So you got a lot of vanilla here, you got benzoin, little touch of woods, little touch of spice in there also. It's not gonna be as dark as Royal Night over here, and it's not going to be as versatile and kind of fresh as L'Homme Eau de Parfum is. I would slot this kind of somewhere in between here as far as how it comes across. It's got more sweetness than either of these, and it's a little bit darker than this one while being not as dark as that one. Really classy, really sexy, nice compliment puller, amazing bang for your buck. Then I got the scent Le Parfum from Hugo Boss. I'm a fan of the scent. I like the line, just about all of them, not all of them though. Pure Accord sucks. I don't like that one really at all. Sorry, Pure Accord, yeah. And then the original The Scent, I think it laid the groundwork, so I respect it for that, but I think it falls underneath most all the other releases, but we're getting sidetracked a little bit. So this makes use of Meninka. It ties the entire The Scent line together. So when you smell them, if you are able to smell a bunch of the scent fragrances one after the other, they have a common thread, and that is the Meninka. So when you smell The Scent, you'll be able to go, oh, I guess I know what Meninka smells like. Have I ever smelled an actual Meninka? I have not, but I have smelled all of the scents and I know what's common between them, so now I can make believe that I know how Meninka smells. Thank you, The Scent. You have taught me something. So yeah, Meninka is in here, kind of a like dusty, exotic, fruity sweetness, and then it has iris. It makes a prominent use of iris here. It's more of a sweet iris, well, actually quite sweet. It doesn't take on that kind of makeup-y tone, that lipsticky tone that some people really dislike. Personally, I like that, but I also like this sweet kind of iris that's in here also. It doesn't go soapy either, so it's more of like an almost candied sweet iris. Really well done, has a touch of class to it, big compliment puller, and smells pretty unique also when you consider what else is out there on the market. And I'll say it also gives me pretty good performance. So the Scent Le Parfum is something that I really enjoy. It's not maybe a massive hype beast. It's that type of fragrance that people who really enjoy the scent are going to like, people who really enjoy fragrances that kind of walk that line between giving you something unique, but also being really wearable and personable. They're gonna like that because that sweetness that's in here, as I've said a couple times, you know, it's really good for drawing attention. People do love sweet stuff. Why do you think everybody drinks soda all the time and eats candy and just sugar? Because it tastes good, smells good, is good. All right, last up, by Kilian, Black Phantom, Memento Mori. It's like the Haunted Mansion at Disney World, Memento Mori. Now this thing packs a wallop, packs a big punch. And for some people, this one is gonna be a bit too much, more difficult to wear than most everything else that I've talked about here. Woo! That's eye-opening. So this one has dark chocolate, rum, caramel, and coffee as some of the notes in the scent, and you get popped when you first spray this on. It's also got almond in there. It has sugar and cyanide is one of the official notes. Obviously, it's an imaginary note. They're not throwing actual cyanide in there, but yeah, it lets you know that they're really trying to grab your attention with this one. So it does have this very chocolatey caramel vibe when you first spray it on, but then a touch of a bitterness to it, which I actually really enjoy. Makes it more interesting, gives it more life. You know, it's not just sweet on top of sweet on top of sweet on top of sweet, which that smells great a lot of times also, like with Angel Share, for example, by Kilian, same brand. That one has sweet on top of sweet and it smells great. But this one gives you something a little bit different by giving you that edgier tone to it, that touch of bitter. Really good projection, really good longevity on this one. It's expensive, of course, because it is by Kilian, but if you're looking for something to stand out, something that'll cut through the cold, this is worth sniffing. If you ever find yourself in a store that has by Kilian fragrances, check this out. It's not gonna be for everybody. Some people are gonna smell this, they're not gonna like it. That opening is gonna turn them away. But for other people, they're gonna smell that opening and just be like hooked immediately. So there we go, guys. Just a quick rundown of these 5 fragrances that I was thinking about this evening. That makes it sound weird. I was thinking about you. It's cold out. Thank you guys for hanging with me here. Stay safe out there. If it's cold where you are, bundle up, and I'll see you another day with another video. See y'all later.